Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of my weight loss journey with Zepbound. Well, it's been 3 weeks since I started my weight loss journey, and I'm once again excited to share my experiences with you. This week has been great. I just finished my fourth injection of Zepbound, and I'm feeling awesome. That's one entire box down. The entire thing. I can't believe how fast this has gone. And I am feeling, like I said, awesome. So let's start right off with this week's results. If you remember, my highest weight that I've ever been was 349 pounds. When I started taking Zepbound on January the 13th, I weighed 339.3 pounds. Last week, I weighed 329.1 pounds. And when I got up this morning and weighed myself, I weighed in at 323.6 pounds. That's a loss of 5.5 pounds this week, and for a total loss of 15.7 pounds since I started taking Zepbound 3 weeks ago. I am totally amazed with how I've been able to lose this weight so far with this. So now let's go and let's talk about how my week has gone. We'll start with any side effects. If you remember last week, I didn't have any side effects. This week, I did have a little bit of a bloating feel the day after taking the shot. It was not bad, and it felt like I was bloated for about 24 hours. Also, if you recall from my last episode, I've been changing my injection site around. So in week 1, I took my injection in the stomach area, and I experienced some breakthrough heartburn while sleeping, during the first few days of it. In week 2, I took my injection in my thigh, and I did not have any side effects, but I felt the dose wore off somewhat towards the end of the week. And this past week, in week 3, I took the injection in the other side of my stomach area. And like I said, I experienced a little bit of bloating this week. So I'm not sure if I'm experiencing more side effects when I take the injection in my stomach area or if it's just a coincidence. This week, I did keep the injection in my stomach, but I moved it to the right side. So I'll keep watching this, and as if we move forward, I'll see if any pattern develops with where I take the shot, if I see any changes or anything like that. But other than the bloating for maybe 24 hours, I did not have any side effects this week. My week this week was a little bit more normal than it has been the past couple weeks. I did not have any travel and I didn't have to stay away from home this week. However, there was one day I was in a business meeting where they provided the lunch. And again, I think I did pretty well on making the choices. They brought in Raising Cane's chicken, which were box lunches. And then the box lunch was 3 fried pieces of chicken strips, French fries, coleslaw, and a piece of Texas toast. You can always watch my short to see exactly what it looked like. I brought an extreme wellness wrap from home, which I've shown you these the past couple of weeks. So I brought that. Oops. So I brought that with me. Um, and I gave the rest of the items away. So I put that all together in a wrap. I also brought carrots and an apple from home to go along with it. So the only thing I ended up eating out of the box was those 2 pieces of chicken strips. I will say I did bite into that apple and it was rotten. And we had just got these apples from Costco over the weekend. And so that was extremely frustrating to me that I tried to be healthy. I took an apple with me and then it was rotten. But, I made it through and I still got through everything. For the rest of the week, I took my lunch. I mostly ate tuna, peanut butter on a wrap, and I had some cottage cheese with those chia seeds in it. I did some carrots and some maybe pickles, small little pickles on the side. We went out to dinner to Bravo Italian Kitchen the other night, and I ordered the salmon fresca. Oh my gosh, was it good! It was awesome. I will definitely be back for this, and you can actually see that also in my shorts. It was great. I did only have one piece of bread with it, very small piece, so I think I did excellent with going out for dinner that night. Another thing I did this week, I continued to journal my foods that I ate, and I kept progress of that. So I think that is helping me stay focused by doing my journaling. Overall, I think I made really good choices this week. My Weight Watcher app said that I should eat 119 grams of protein each day. My average this week, when I went back through my app, was 107 grams per day. So I think that was pretty good. Based on this week's weigh in, my protein goal is 117 grams per day. I've also continued to stay hydrated by drinking at least 100 ounces of water per day. And I've also focused on getting plenty of fiber in each day. Late last week, I did start adding some collagen to my routine. The one that I'm using is the collagen peptides. And I'm starting out with 2 tablespoons, and I put that into my chai latte tea that I have. It's unflavored, and so it doesn't change the flavor of the tea or anything. And it's supposed to help with skin and hair. And I did this 3 times this week, and it also helps on the days that I'm a little low on my protein because it has protein in it. I think for the 2 tablespoons I take, it's 9 grams of protein in it, so I get some protein in it along the way with it. So that helps. As I mentioned earlier, last week I took the injection in my stomach area, and like I did during that very first week, I didn't notice an increase in any food noise like I did during week 2, nor did I really start to get hungry towards the end of this week. So I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the site. Like I said, when I did it in the thigh, that's when I seemed to have those food noises returning a little bit earlier and being hungry. So, again, I'll keep an eye on that. I did take it in the stomach this time. I just feel like maybe that might be better for me. So that's what I tried again this week. This week, I also had a non-scale victory also. Since starting this journey 3 weeks ago, I have seen my heart rate come down. Before starting this journey, it was typically that my resting heart rate during the day would regularly be in the upper 90s and sometimes even in the low 100s per minute. And when I would go to bed, my average would sometimes be in the upper 70s. This week, my rate rarely went over 80 unless I was walking or doing some type of strength training or something like that. And at night, my average has actually been in the low 60s. So I think that's awesome. I think it's really helping with my health so far, and I can see that difference already in just 3 weeks. One thing that I've noticed is my dreams. They seem to be a lot more vivid. I don't know. Does anyone else experience this with when you've been on this Zepbound? I sleep on one side and I turn from side to side multiple times during my sleep, and I sort of wake up a little bit when I switch sides. And it seems like every time I turn over, it seems like there's a brand new vivid dream that, starts over. And I remember the dream before when I'm going into it. I'm like, okay, what's the next thing that's going to come up when I get this dream happening? So it's sort of cool. But I don't ever recall doing these type of dreams before I took Zepbound. So I don't know if it's Zepbound. It's a little strange, and just sort of wondering if any of you experience that too. As far as my exercise this week, I'm trying to get in more steps per day. Some days it's easier than others. It's still been pretty cold out this week. Last week I averaged just over 4,000 steps per day. And this week I averaged 4,946 steps per day. with the highest having 6,947 steps. So there is an increase a little bit over from last week. So I think that was good. The weather is supposed to be nicer this week, a little bit warmer. So I think we're going to plan on getting out and getting in some more steps this week. So Ron and I will be going out to the park. I think some of that, so be watching for some videos out there that we'll probably put out there when we go. I also did my resistance training with exercise bands twice this week. I had hoped to get them in 3 times this week. However, I did not meet that goal. But at least I did get in 2 times this week. And, baby steps sometimes is not a bad thing. And I'm okay with that. And next week, I still have my goal. I'm going to say my week for this week's goal is to get it done 3 times this week. So I just pick myself up, like we talked about last week, and I just move on from that. So before we close out this week, I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive into a topic that is close to my heart. It's the emotional roller coaster of weight loss. We need to remember that it's not just about the numbers on that scale. It's about the journey within, the highs, the lows that shape us along the way. So let's start with self perception. As I embarked on this journey with Zepbound, I've already noticed some changes in how I view myself. It's not just about looking in that mirror and seeing the physical changes, but it's more about how I feel inside. There's a newfound sense of pride and accomplishment that comes with each small victory, just like that non scale victory that I talked about a little bit ago. Each choice that leads me closer to my goals is one step closer. This journey is going to be about resilience, showing me that I am capable of overcoming challenges that I once thought were going to be insurmountable. But I know that it's not going to always be easy. There are going to be days when I don't recognize that person looking back at me in that mirror. Days when the mental image I've carried for so long doesn't match that reflection that I see. And that can be strange. Sometimes it can be an unsettling feeling, but it's also a sign of growth, of shedding an old identity and embracing a new, healthier one. None of this would be possible without support. The encouragement that I've received from my husband, Ron, my family, my friends, and all of you out there on YouTube are actually my anchor. Your comments, your stories, recipes, and your unwavering belief in me help lift me up on those days when I can feel like giving up. And it's humbling and it's heartwarming to know that I'm not alone in this journey. Thank you for all the shared experiences, the tips that I've gotten, those little gentle nudges to make sure that I keep going. They have played a critical role in keeping me grounded and focused. This support network is invaluable. Reminding me of my weight loss journey is not a solitary battle. It's a shared journey with each of us rooting for each other. And that is why I decided I wanted to document my journey with all of you. So remember, you are not alone in this journey either. We are all in this together, and we got this. That doesn't mean that there won't be those moments of low motivation and self doubt, the shadows that sometimes fall on our path. And I won't lie, there will be days when we question everything, our choices, our efforts, even the path that we have chosen. There will be days when that old habit whispers temptations, promising comfort in the familiar that we have grown accustomed to. In those moments, it is the why that saves us. We need to ask ourselves, why did I start this journey? For me, it's not just about shedding those pounds. It's about gaining my life, about being there for the ones that I love, and about seeing the future filled with possibilities. We need to learn to embrace these moments of doubt, not as signs of weakness, but as opportunities of reflection and growth. We all need to remind ourselves of victories, no matter how large or how small, and we need to look for milestones yet to come. I want to say this: the emotional journey of weight loss is as intricate and challenging as the physical one, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Each step forward, each hurdle that we overcome, adds another layer to our strength and our resilience. So let's continue to support each other, to share our struggles and our triumphs, and to remember that every step on this journey is a step towards a better, healthier versions of ourselves. So that wraps up yet another week. And as we conclude today's weight loss journey with Zepbound, remember, every step we take on this path, no matter how small, is a victory. Every time we choose a healthier meal, every workout we complete, every time we track our progress, we are making those decisions to be a better version of who we are. We are all worth this, all of us. Stay motivated, stay strong, and let's make our next step a confident one. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey with me. Together, we can face our challenges and to celebrate our victories. I will see you next week. And remember, it is our journey, our pace, our success. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. And until next time, bye.